What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the Toxicity gaming system, or the rating system, I should say. We're going to be talking about reports of World of Warcraft death may have been greatly exaggerated, and it's just fine. And we're also going to be talking about that modern gaming is a scam. We have a video from a creator called It's Hawks. It's a pretty new, I would say, YouTuber who I think has pretty good video coverage of what they've been doing. They only have about 37 videos total, and they make like essay type of stuff. So we're gonna watch. Sarge sent me this over the weekend. I haven't watched it fully. I watched like the first 2 minutes, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait and watch it on stream with chat and give my opinions as we go along the way. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We just cover topics and news stories and have conversation with live chat. If you like what we do here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live streams. We do uploads. We do podcasts. And we also do gameplay in the evenings. Last night we played some Battlefront 2. Not the classic collection, the actual 2017 version from EA. What a blast, man. That game is such a blast. Got so much shit when it came out. I gave it shit because of the microtransactions and stuff like that. But the game itself is a really good game. It's a really fun game. What's going on, El? What's going on, Eclipse? What's going on, Roadkill? What's going on, Travis? Water Bear? Good morning. Good morning. Modern everything is a scam. Yeah. Modern everything is a scam. We're gonna start off with I guess something controversial or whatever you want to call it. There's a tweet or a Twitter account called Melanin Gamers, okay? And they came out with a rating system, okay? A toxicity rating system, okay? So this came across my feed over the weekend. And when it came across the feed, I was like, wait a minute, is this April Fool's joke? Like, is this an actual thing? So it says the world's first rating system to identify toxicity in online gaming. Melanin Gamers at Help Keep Watch have launched the first rating system identify online gaming toxicity. Please check out the rating system for yourself here. So I did that, right? I went here and looked at the toxicity rating. And it says the world's first rating system monitoring racism, gender discrimination, and overall toxicity in online gaming community. I have to say, okay, now gaming in general is the most inclusive, diverse thing in the world. I'll be honest with you, because gaming doesn't care what the color of your skin is. They don't care what gender you are. It doesn't care what you identify as. You're just playing a game. You're playing a game, and if you don't like what someone's saying, there's this little thing, okay, on the controller that you can get, and it's this big middle button right here, and that's called the mute button. Okay, you can mute yourself, you can mute others, you can literally they have all the features already included in a gaming system. If it's on PlayStation or Xbox or PC, or if you're using Discord, if you're using, like, you can literally delete, erase, mute them, everything, right? And it's amazing. It's a real simple thing. It's the mute button, right? Toxicity is everywhere. Right? So are knives. Knives are very dangerous. You can stab someone with a knife. You can cut somebody with a knife. But not everyone's running around with knives. Okay? People use the knives for things like cutting fruit and meats and using stuff, right? So looking at this, everything they stand for right now, I went to their site, okay? And Melanin Gamers, okay, it says Melanin Gamers is dedicated to increasing diversity and inclusion in video game industry. It's more than gaming community. It's a show of support to cry out some desperately needed change and the safe space of online and real life community for people of color to come together. I'm going to stop there, okay? Right there in your own sentence, increasing diversity and inclusion in video game industry, but yet it's a community just for black people. Do they not see the hypocrisy here? Do they not see the problem, right? I personally don't care about color of skin, race, gender, right? People can come to my channel and we all just talk about video games, okay? But the problem here is that they want to make and they want to segregate us. They want to separate us. They want to make something between us, okay, where it needs to be a safe space for whites and blacks. This has already happened in history, and this is why history is so important, because why do we want to go back to the way it was in the past and not keep it the way it was? When I grew up, there wasn't racism. Sure, there are people out there that do racist things, and there is racism there, but the majority of the world is not racist, right? The majority of the world just wants to play a game. They just want to go to work. They just want to come home. They just want to play baseball. They just want to play football. They just want to read comics. They just want to do what they want to do, and it has nothing to do with stuff. Anyway, let's go to the rating system here. The toxicity rating system, seems so flawed in so many different ways. Okay? Each rating was created by surveying hundreds of gamers and represent the average amount of racism, gender discrimination, violence towards others, crude humor, and controlled substance conversations experienced while playing online. Okay, cool. Right? So hundreds of people that were surveyed out of billions of people playing video games. Are we really taking a small percentage and saying that everyone's racist now? Like, is this what's happening? Okay, Call of Duty. 78% of the people experience toxicity playing Call of Duty online. Survey results of racism, 75%, gender discrimination, 67%, direct violence and threats, 90%, sexual conduct, 74%, crude humor, 79%, and controlled substance of conversation, 82%. Right? So in that little diagram that they have over on the side here, it looks like, it almost looks like you're making a character in a game. You know, what's your attributes here? Attributes for Call of Duty is almost racist, completely racist. Gender discrimination, not so much. Violence in Call of Duty is almost peak. Sexual conduct, crude humor, and controlled substances. Okay, let's go to Fortnite. Let's see what Fortnite is. Okay, 76% of people, right? 76% of people experience toxicity playing Fortnite online. I can tell you honestly, I play Fortnite, I play Battlefield, I play all these games. You know what my percent is for toxicity or anything like that? 0%. Do you know why? I don't have an open mic. I don't talk to random people. It's literally 0%. I have never had anyone in the last 5 years say, eat shit, go kill yourself, go die, and none of that. I've had 0% because obviously you don't talk to people on the open space. Now, is that solve the problem? No, you're never going to solve the problem. Okay, this is why people on the internet can say whatever they want, and in person, you need to get punched in the face. Okay, and a lot of people haven't been punched in the face before. Okay, but in the internet, like last night, we played. Right, I played with people in our chat. I played with people that I know. There is no sexist, racist, discriminatory talk or whatsoever. We're just having fun playing video games. I don't know what color skin they are. I don't know what their gender is. Right. I could tell that they're male or female based on the voice, but that's here or there sometimes, right? It's very, very strange to make something like this. I feel like they got so bored, instead of just hitting the mute button, they decided to make a website. Okay? 62% of people experience toxicity playing Minecraft online. My son's been playing Minecraft for 6 years. 6 years, and he's had 0% of toxicity in the game. I know this because he can't play online with people, right? And if you do play online with people, you just don't go in an open chat. And if someone does talk to you and says something stupid, okay, by being sexist or racist, you just go to their name and you can mute them and you can report them and you can do a whole bunch of other stuff, right? I don't understand the people that are so... They get offended by everything. Someone right now listening to this is probably offended that I'm even talking about this. Okay, They're offended that I'm even talking about this, right? Apex Legends, 76% of people experience toxicity playing Apex Legends. Valorant, 77% of people experience toxicity. Okay. Animal Crossing, well, it's not up yet. I wonder how many people have Animal Crossing. So Rocket League, Destiny 2, Halo Infinite, GTA Online. Well, I can't wait for GTA Online. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. But I find this very, just all this, and I'm not offended by this. They can do what they want to do. I just find it very interesting that the people that are trying to make it more diverse and inclusive for people are the ones segregating it off to only this type of people, right? And if you can't see the problem with that, there's no hope for helping the gaming industry, because the gaming industry doesn't see color, doesn't see sex or race. It just sees gamers with their money paying for video games, okay? That's what it sees, okay? That's what actual physical businesses see. They see money in people's pockets, and they make a game, sell a game. And when that game gets sold, right, you can create your own characters. You can make your characters look the way you want. You don't have to see yourself. I've played Lara Croft. I don't see myself as a girl with pointy tits wearing, pixelated stuff. I don't see myself as Lara Croft. I just see Lara Croft, right? I can make my character in Dragon's Dogma or Starfield, and I can make him white. I can make him black. I play a female character in Division 2. And she's been there for 5 years. I don't identify as her, okay? I literally just make a character, and that's what it is, okay? I can make the power fantasy of playing a specific character and play it as is. Or am I Jack Burton? I always make Jack Burton for all of this stuff, okay? It's idiotic. And for these people, and I mean people just in general, not these people, just people in general, that make these groups and make these organizations to have, like, if just all gay people can be in this group, and all white people can be in this group, and all black people can be in this group, that is the problem. The problem is you making your groups where other people can't come in and play, okay? No girls allowed, no boys allowed. This is my clubhouse. It's just gaming. Gaming already does this. Comics already do this, right? All of these industries that were fine the way they were before are now being, invaded by people that think they're making it better, but literally they are making it worse. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I prefer using daggers. Okay. Are we bringing back safe spaces? Maybe. Ron says Modern Warfare 2 lobbies on Xbox 360 was a toxic experience that made me tough. Yeah. It's a virtual punch in the face, right? You learn. And if you're not learning, right? If Ass Kisser 769 tells yourself to kill yourself in a video game lobby, are you going to keep listening to that person, or are you going to mute that person and make sure you're not playing with that person or report that person, right? And you move on. Nothing happens. Someone says that to you, you just kind of move on. Reese says, got to realize, in their view, you can't be racist or discriminate against white people. So they exclude them and call them, there's no hypocrisy, I guess. I missed the old Halo 3 and Modern Warfare 2 days. Surprise, the percent isn't higher. Surprise, the percent isn't higher, to be honest. Yeah, Shadow, 77%. I mean, I could go into a Call of Duty lobby. I'm 100% guaranteed someone's going to say something sexist, racist, for sure. Go eat a dick, right? I'm going to kill you. Right? I'm going to, they say stuff. For 100%. It should all just be 100%. I live in a party chat for mute my mic unless I'm playing ranked and siege, which is dumb toxic. Come on, Carlo. Let's see here. What else you guys are saying? Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing. How do people experience toxicity in Apex? The only people you talk to are your teammates. I guess they log in. They log into the group of randos, and that person's just shit talking. And this is another problem, right? A lot of people, and a lot of people, especially in the last couple of years, a lot of people are introverts. A lot of people don't even go outside. They don't even talk to real people, right? They don't talk to real people. They only talk to people online. And I get that's the way it is. But a lot of people lose the sense of, like, reading the room and, like, banter and joking, right? Like, we all know, like, if you hang out with your buddies, okay? If there's a group of people and you're all, like, punching each other. Like, this is what guys do, right? You punch each other. You make fun of each other. You say, like, fun, stupid things. And no one really gets offended. And if you don't like that, right, you don't hang out with that group of people anymore, right? Like, there was a group of people in high school I used to hang out with that used to always just nut check you, right? I hung out with them once. They nut checked me, okay? I didn't think that was fun, so I stopped hanging out with the nut check group, okay? You know what I mean? Like, you learn from your lessons. You either hang out with people and you start rolling with the punches, or you stop hanging out with those people. It's like they're trying to push an agenda. Yeah. Gaming industry only wants our money. That's exactly right, Ron. They don't care what color skin you are or what you like to eat or anything like that. They only care is how can we get more money out of these people? The fact that some people take these numbers seriously is wild. Me looking at these numbers is entertaining to see. Yeah, Kyle, I don't take this seriously at all. I mean, obviously, I'll play a game when I want to play a game, and if I don't want someone to, you know, say something to me, then I just don't get into a random group. Make a character, play a character. That's right, Travis. But that's because you suck. How about that for toxicity? Isn't those kind of groups the exact definition of segregation? Yes. Yes, Rose. Exactly right. We're going to stop and make diversity, but you know what? Imagine if I said this. Only white people could watch my stream. Wouldn't that be wrong? Yes. Yes. No, I'm trying to make it a very diverse, inclusive, but you have to only be white to watch my stuff. Like, do you hear yourself when you say it? People in real life actively wiggling segregation and congregate with people that are like them. Online people are out of touch with real life. Insult them back by reporting the block and mute. Right. Toxic gamers make me play better. Yeah, you know what? When someone like snipes me from a roof, I'm like, mother, I'm getting you. I don't know who that person is. It could be a 12-year-old kid. I'm just playing the game. New times, new problems. I think the large population, we can't forget that these kids playing games, mostly neglected by parents, leaving parenting to the internet. These parents pushing back the industry. I think a lot of people. I think we take a lot of this though, PL, and we assume that they're children. We assume that these are children. These are grown adults. Adults meaning like 18 and above. Okay. I got nut checked by chicks in high school. Lucky you. Lucky you. Parents holding gaming accountable for their short sight as parents. Yeah, you gotta be parents. You gotta be parents. Candy Crush is toxic. I love toxic gamers. Makes more fun, more rivalries. Yeah, but is that toxicity though, Leo? I think that's more competitive banter. You know what I mean? It's like everything that's said. It's like, you know what people say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in gaming stays in gaming, right? Like, you could go tell. I've had so many people that I've had banter back and forth. Where like, you know, eat shit. I'll kill you. I'm better than you. And then we actually become friends, right? We actually become friends. And you understand that that person is not actually like that. It's like a persona they have online. Coulter says Stellar Blade is a masterpiece. Is it out yet? Or are you just saying that from the demo? At this point, a person killing you with a sniper in the game might be Googling AI playing for them. That's true. That's true. I used to tell the kids to shut the hell up or uninstall the game all the time. I just posted a picture of what the solution is. All right, let me go look at what you posted. Is that Tom Cruise from A Tropic Thunder? Segregation happens a lot, and it's not going to get any better. Yeah, it's ridiculous to me that someone's just makes that little group so they feel safe. That's not how you become safe. That's not how you become safe. Oh, my best friend and me, because they called me shit at the game. I taught me how to play it. Yeah, a lot of people. There's a lot of people that just understand social skills. Okay, and that goes both ways. There's people that don't have social skills that just talk because they hear maybe their dad curses or their mom curses, or they hear their adult parents, because there are young parents, but adult parents talking to their other friends, and they're bantering back and forth, and then kids think that is it, but they're not taught that when you say that to somebody, that might hurt somebody because you don't have that rapport with that person, right? To talk certain ways to certain people in public, right? If I bullshit with someone in real life and talk to them and say, hey, douchebag, what's going on, right? And someone sees that from the outside, they'll look, did he just call him a douchebag? That's so... How dare you talk? But they don't know that rapport that we have together. They don't know that we have 45 years of knowing each other, okay? And that is banter back and forth because we actually like each other, right? That's what people do. Online, there is no sarcasm. There is no of that stuff. There's other people that don't know how to read the room, where they see two people bantering back and forth, and that person's the outsider. They come in and they start to banter or try to banter, and then they go above and they're like, whoa, like, you can't say that to me, right? We don't even know each other, but they're trying to fit in. But they were never taught or had examples of trying to fit in society and social skills. A lot of kids don't have social skills, okay? I see it now when I pick up my son from school and when we were at birthday parties and stuff like that. I see certain kids talk to certain, and I'm like, that is not how you talk. But they haven't been corrected or taught the correct way by their parents, by their adults, by grandparents, whatever, okay? Because there's a lot more going on, and social skills are a very, very big part of this, right? And when people don't have social skills, they get offended, right? Or they say the wrong things, and then people are like, oh, what the hell? You can't say that, right? And that's the problem with a lot of things going on in the space, okay? But gaming, since it's been around, okay, at least since like the early 2000s, okay, they added mute buttons, right? When you have microphones, people mute themselves. They just listen, right? Some people don't even use microphones. You can go into the system settings. You can put that they can't talk to certain people, right? You can literally, someone says something you don't want to hear. You're like, oh, I go to that person who said that. Because you see the microphone going off next to their name. You mute them. You get out of the lobby. There is so many ways to get around to deal with this stuff. And it's just idiotic. It is. It's idiotic, right? So let's go to the... I want to go to the actual. There's 1,100 comments, okay, for what they're saying. Obviously, it says this is effing retarded. Okay, go F yourself. Okay, please get a life. What is the point of this when there's a mute button a few clicks away? And now does the toxics of Minecraft, right? So basically, do the opposite of whatever this thing is telling you to do. Got it. Okay. Funny thing is, people are going to use this to see which games have most toxicity and go play them. Yeah, probably. Okay, probably. Okay. Hysteria, Bully Hunters 2.0. Oh, right. That was a thing, right? Back in like 2015, 16. They tried to make the Bully Hunters, where it was like an organization that would stop bullying on video games. Yeah. Next thing is going to be stop bullying on playgrounds and stop bullying in cafeterias. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to help, right? Game sales go brr to the high toxicity ratings are. Yeah. Here's your rating, 100% bullshit. It's just funny, man. It's just funny. I lost my social skills as I became an adult. I don't want to socialize. I don't want to work. I want to work, right? Minimal and possible, and go to home and go like fuck off. I don't want to hang out. Yeah, a lot of people are like that, right? My wife is she's a person that doesn't like to socialize, right? She socializes because I socialize, right? I love talking, if you couldn't tell, right? I love going places, and when I go somewhere, I am the life of the party, okay? I have fun. I talk to people. I have conversations with people, right? Right? If I don't want to talk to somebody, you know what I do? That's what you do. You're like, that person said something. Travis says, I probably get called hella toxic if anyone heard me trying to play a Souls game. But really, really toxic. And that's a single-player game. Altern says, I had someone toxic on Warframe one time. The entire lobby, for 3 of us, were bothering him back to due to him trying to be toxic, and it backfired. He left the lobby. Yeah. This is the same type of thing where there's a group of puppies or kittens, and one of the kittens decides to start biting the other puppies, right? You're going to learn real fast, and they learn. Bully Hunters sounds like a British version of Mythbusters. No, it was a real thing. It was a real thing. Yeah, it was a real thing. Here, I'll bring it up. Yeah, back in 2018, Bully Hunters organizers shut down campaign after disastrous first stream. It didn't last very long. It didn't last very long. Update: Brandon Cook, FCB Global Chief Communication Officer, told Polygon that email today that Bully Hunters program has come to an end. At the effort that it did not live up to the high standards, we decided to end this program, but hope this conversation is raised around ending harassment in gaming continues, Cook said. I wonder if they got bullied out of not making it. I wonder if that's what happened. Because, man, that would be pretty funny. Okay. He cleared up a few unanswered questions about the campaign, mainly who paid and whether or not the brand partners receive any compensation for the role. Okay. He says the sole creator of the campaign was FCB Chicago, Cook said. All other organization mentions in the campaign did not provide any of the kind of financial formal sponsorships in some case. The original story, in just under 72 hours, Vigilant Gaming Group, Bully Hunters, went from idealistic to anti-harassment campaign to prime example of what happens when seamlessly good intentions go wrong. Bully Hunters is an initiative-produced marketing agency of FCB Chicago, composed of all-female organization made up of Counter-Strike global offensive players trying to raise awareness in in-game harassment. And the Bully Hunters website described the collectives of Vigilant hit squad of elite female gamers who will enter the CSGO gamers when called upon. Eventually, the situation to take out offending players in the case of determined to serve enough. Okay. A debuted live stream which reportedly featured pre-recorded stage gameplay footage and specialized in branded SteelSeries headphones and used the charity giveaways aired Thursday night. Reporters and other industry members criticized the group's harassment countermeasures before the live stream ever kicked off. Their concerns were compounded after the host's personal history of antagonizing people on Twitter and using homophobic language as it dredged up, and the question about the involvement of the companies like SteelSeries were aired. Okay, even if they used a pre-recorded footage during the live event raised alarms and was the group of anti-harassment techniques, however, which encouraged players to go in and take out bad actors, drew the most. All right. So literally the person that started the company was out there bullying people, which is just the people that speak the loudest, man, have the most to hide. Right? What's going on, Mandalorian? Yeah, that was real. That's a real thing. Okay. They would send an elite force of gamers to go in there and stop bullying, one bully at a time. I guarantee you, if you go to some of these lobbies, there'll be an 8-year-old that would just wreak havoc in the amount of shit they would spew out of their mouth. You'd be like, how old are you? I'm 8, motherfucker. And you'd be like, oh my God. They'll be like, I can't deal with this. When we playing Helldivers? We'll probably play. We can go back to Helldivers next week. You can go back to Helldivers next week because tonight we're playing Division 2 with Sarge. It only lasted one stream. No, it literally got canceled. That stream, Jones. It literally got canceled. That stream. The cursing kids are the best. You know what's funny? That's one of the reasons, right? Because my original. Right, this channel is called 30NSG, which is 30 and Still Gaming, or news, shows, and gaming now, right? But my gamer tag is 30 and Still Gaming, and the reason for that was before I started streaming was that when I was playing Battlefield Bad Company back in the day and Battlefield Bad Company 2, I couldn't stand playing with younger kids because they just didn't understand how to play the game, right? So I made a forum called 30 and Still Gaming, okay? I wasn't looking for 30 and up gamers, but what I was looking for more mature gamers, okay? And when I was looking to make an LFG site, it was called 30 and Still Gaming. So I was looking for people that were older gamers that were wanting to play video games that didn't want to play with other younger kids, okay? I didn't care about these squeakers as far as their voices and stuff like that. I wanted people that were experienced playing games because I wanted to have a better experience. So then we found a group, and we got in with a group of people that were ex-military guys, and we all started playing the game together, and me, Sarge, and like 12 other people. We would have like 3 groups, and we would just constantly play it every single night. We would play Battlefield Bad Company or Battlefield Bad Company 2 when it came out. Yeah, so segregation, yeah. But the difference was I didn't know what their actual race, gender, or anything was, Kylo. It was just adult gamers that wanted to play the same. That's it. Yeah. Right? Luckily, kids these days are a little better than playing games. But yeah, I prefer not playing with kids as well. Well, it's not even just playing with kids, right? It's also about the social stuff, right? If I'm talking about stuff as adults do, right? I don't want them to hear, right? Because I can read the room, right? While I'm on a voice chat. I'm like, if there's a kid in here, I don't want to mute myself by saying, like, I can't say fuck, right? I know if I'm playing with a kid, I won't curse, right? But if I know I'm playing with a kid, then I won't curse, right? And if I'm not playing with a kid, I'll curse, okay? Because that's reading the room. That's respecting the certain things. I don't want to play with kids because I know that I want to have fun. I want to just play the game. And if I blurt out, some stuff, I don't want that kid to pick it up because I'm the parent, right? That's the difference, right? I'm not stupid. I know kids hear these things, but I don't need to be the one that's teaching the things or whatnot. It's because kids suck. They can even have like they take the toxicity check bully group, right? Kylo, you don't have to tell me you're kidding. If you were kidding or not kidding, it doesn't matter. Because either way, I don't care. You don't have to say, I was just kidding, bro. I don't care. I'm made from a different cloth. I don't get offended. I don't get mad at anybody. I get vocal when we talk about certain things just because I'm a passionate person. But other than that, I never take anything to personal or to heart, ever. So they're doing their part to stop the toxicity and have inclusiveness and diversity. And that's what their whole point is. And my point is, I'm bringing it up because they're doing the opposite. If you make a group for one specific type of person, then you are literally doing the opposite of what you stand for. I'm just saying. Gaming in general doesn't see color. It doesn't see anything like that. It's people that want to play video games and have fun. That's it. If you have book club, okay, and you read a book, and you have white book club and black book club and Asian book club, that's the problem, okay? If you just have book club, that's it. I love my dog. He's barking at somebody right now. and he sees me open the blinds, and he looks at the window and he's barking at me. He's like, "Are these people good? Are we good here?" Like, there's someone on the property. Are they good? Quintar says, thick skin club. We're segregating people, Quintar. Only people with thick skin can be in this club. Nothing wrong with having a group for like-minded people. Sure, there is nothing wrong with having a group of like-minded people. But if it's based on physical attributes, that's a problem. Right? That's a problem, Jones. There's no problem if this is a Lord of the Rings group, right? We don't want that Star Wars group in our Lord of the Rings group, okay? But if you have a all-white Lord of the Rings group, and your Asian friend wants to come in, or your black friend wants to come in, you're like, sorry, you can't come in, Steve. This is a Lord of the Rings Asian group only. That's a problem. Try to make it that way. It just happens naturally. My friend group is literally white, black, multiple types of Hispanics, and one Asian female, which is surprising because we are toxic as hell, mixed people. And guess what? We didn't even have to, right? There. Oh, that's what we try to make it that way. No, it just happened. Yeah, it's just the people that had like-minded thoughts. Okay, and you hang out. That's how friends. That's how friends are made. Right? That's exactly right, Altern. Having a club with specific type of people literally separating everyone. It's exactly right. Friendship through hatred. That's right. I've had so many people that we started off where we were yelling and screaming and hate each other, and then we became friends. Come on, Hemi. I don't want someone that thinks, me and my best friend of 45 years, we don't like everything the same. We have completely different views, right? And the best part, and this is why he's my best friend, is like, no matter what we talk about or what we do, nobody gets offended about something else, right? If he bitches about something, I listen. I bitch about something, he listens. If we have different viewpoints of religion, politics, or whatever, it doesn't matter. We have a conversation. At the end of the day, we fucking pull back a drink and have fun. We go on vacation with our families, right? We don't care. Okay? That's what friendship is. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin or what you feel or what doesn't, right? And these people are the problem. Okay? All of these groups are problems. I don't care who it is. If it's all white, all black, all Hispanic, all whatever, those are the problems. That's not the solution. That's the problem. Speaking of problems, I literally have an online friend who used to scream and talk as much as possible when we first met, and eventually became longtime friends. It happens naturally, right? Right? No, you have to have specific people so it can be diverse and inclusive. Gaming's not the problem, right? Gaming's not the problem. People are the problem. Just putting it out there, right? Gaming's gaming. Microtransactions are toxic. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is reports of World of Warcraft death may have been greatly exaggerated, as Blizzard's GM proudly wheels out a graph showing it's doing really well, but no hard numbers. Okay? Now, obviously, I literally had a comment the other day. We were talking about World of Warcraft, and someone commented and said, no one's playing World of Warcraft. They're playing Black Desert Online. And I looked up the numbers, and I was like, all right, cool. I was like, Black Desert Online is doing really well, but World of Warcraft is still 10 times the size of the actual players playing, right? Like, there's people playing games, right? You don't have to have tens of millions of people playing your game to be successful. But to say that Black Desert Online is doing better than Warcraft, you're delusional, okay? Even with all the hate that World of Warcraft gets, okay, they are still more popular than every other MMO out there, okay? So World of Warcraft will celebrate its 20th anniversary on November 23rd this year, 2 decades in which it established itself as the world's biggest and most preempted MMO. Now, while WoW's refinement scale, endless absorbing mixed adventures, and brilliant group mechanics has over its lifetime attracted over 100 million signups. A number of itself has revealed that Blizzard, his entire decade ago in 2014, it also runs into the frustrations with WoW that we know when doing well, because Blizzard tends to have a little brag about it, but very rarely that we know how well, okay? That's the time made it easy for people to claim that WoW is on its way out. Dead game, okay, is such a chatter often conflicted with the reception of the most recent expansions, and some of the expressions of players discounted in the fact that it could also be a dead game has become something of a meme for WoW. So often that the phrase that's also been invoked by reality is also over my career. It's also WoW killer after WoW killer appeared to disappear while OG soldiers on, right? And this is this. What does this sound like? Remember Destiny? Destiny came out, and then something came out, and they're like, oh, this is a Destiny killer, right? And then, oh, this is a Destiny killer. And I said way back then, I said, the only thing that's going to kill Destiny is Destiny itself, right? Ta-da. Okay. Nothing's killing WoW, right? Nothing's killing Google. The only thing that can kill Google is Google itself, okay? Once you get to a certain echelon, okay, your company, your business, Rome, right, wasn't destroyed by something else. Rome destroyed Rome, okay? So the only thing that can kill these things is them themselves, okay? Now, right now, it's doing rather better than soldiering on. Warcraft's general manager, John Haidt, gave a talk at a recent game developers conference titled The First 30 Years of Warcraft and the Making of the Game Universe. A wide range of presentations, and also especially interested to tour into a historical patterns of subscriber numbers and the game has seen. Haidt says that WoW has been seen as repeated pattern of subscribers over the game's lifespan, one of the clearly linked to the release of expansions and the straightforward versions of when the game expansions for the game releases. Now, WoW sees a spike in subscriptions, which is then slowly tails off over the following months, which occasionally has small bumps related to large patches and additions, and this pattern of subs gradually declines, continuing until the next expansion is released. At some point, they will repeat all of the above, okay? Blizzard has started to see the same thing happen with WoW Classic along its own separate release schedule. WoW Classic expansion also could create its own surge of subs, and often at the time when WoW subs were also a usual slow decline, waiting for their next bump, which Haidt says also almost as many players are coming into the other players going out across the two games. Okay, so here's this, let me bring up this Reddit post, and let me bring up this actual chart here, okay? This is what a dead game looks like, folks. This is what a dead game looks like. I want you to see that this is the line, right? This dotted line here is expectations, right? And this is the actual, okay? So this is what they're expecting, okay? This is what they're expecting. Subscribers rolling is the average, okay? This is the average, okay? The purple line is the expectations, okay? So you can see that World of Warcraft Legions, right? Legion launch on August 30th back in like 2016. Okay, it peaked up. There's their expectations. It hit, and then it went down. And then the next thing, expansion came, or you know, the DLCs came out. WoW Classic launched. It went up. World of Warcraft Classic. It went above expectations, and then it dipped down at a higher point than what this one was, and then it went back up all the way to the top. Shadows had launched, and then it dipped back down, and then it went way down. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's a dead game," right? Mind you that this number here is still tens of millions of people playing, not hundreds of thousands of people playing. This is tens of millions of people playing, okay? And then it goes back up, and then it goes back down, and then it goes back up, and everyone's always like, oh, well, World of Warcraft is done. They're never going to make it, okay? So far, so predictable, but Haidt's talking about this as a stage of how WoW's Blizzard internal direction with WoW has changed, and the difference is seen in the pattern as a result. The change between Shadowlands and the expansion has saw a traditional spike in subs at launch, but generally poorly received by players. The usual slow decline became in case of the fall-off, and also most worrying thing about Blizzard was that when its next expansion of Dragonflight came along, the surge in players was lower than expected. Okay, lower than expected. They expect a lower, but it was lower than expected. The negative reaction to Shadowlands, in other words, not only saw WoW lose players faster than it had before, but it also had knocked off the impact of the next expansion usual spike. A lot of this is also attributed to people losing their interest in set and height, and it's also even some cases of the trust in us during Shadowlands. Okay. The one ace up Blizzard's sleeve, though, is Dragonflight was received much more positively of Shadowlands, has also been designated to address many players of most frequent complaints. Nevertheless, the idea that Blizzard is also subconscious in the players' trust saw the developer decide to go further in communicating with these things and contact roadmaps, as well as communicate with more frequent updates. Over time, as a result, in something Blizzard hadn't seen before, rather than declining over time, Dragonflight subscription numbers began to rise. Imagine that. Imagine being communicative, like talking to your player base and going, hey, we hear you, we're playing, right? Communication in these live service games and these MMOs goes a really long way. Now, what Hyde particularly proud of is, however, the result of WoW is now having more subscribers than it did in November and December of 2022 in the immediate aftermath of Dragonflight's release. Now, we also come with the fuzziness of Hyde has also lovely graphs to illustrate all of this, but he doesn't have any numbers on the last time Blizzard gave specific subscriber numbers, which was way back in 2015, around a year before it released, and the Legion expansion, in which it said that the game had 5.5 million monthly subscribers, and also would no longer provide firm numbers. Okay, still making tons of money, but they don't need to share their numbers, right? Because they don't care what you think, if it's successful or not. They just say, you know what? Let's stop bragging about the 20 million, 23 million people playing the game. Even if it's 5 million, I'll take 5 million. I will take 5 million of anything, anytime. I don't care if it's 5 million pennies. Okay, I will take it. Okay. None of the most essential takeaway then, but the serious successor of WoW players in the story that the heights of telling, essentially, he's saying that Blizzard realized it screwed up with Shadowlands, and the lesson is took from this was that they had to pay more attention to the players' sentiment, okay, and move beyond the traditional top-down way of literating the game. Now, these communities are deeply invested in the games, and they don't want to leave your game, concluded Height. Don't give them a reason to leave. Give them a reason to stay. And the community sentiment during the Shadowlands was the real wake-up call for us. What our players want for fundamentally change, and it hasn't recognized that. And we also wanted to throw out an old playbook, and that had to work for us for 18 years at this point. And now we're crafting a new playbook for our players that are co-author with us. Okay. I concluded rather gradually by saying the experience was created by a new future of WoW and Warcraft more generally. The Blizzard looks to further involve players and have a move beyond the old ways of doing things. The acid test will also come in later this year, and WoW and the War Within, the first expansion Trinity, represents Azeroth in the new future, while WoW Classic is going to rerun one of the most divisive expansions in gaming history with Cataclysm. Okay, look, they figured it out, right? They're like, well, if we just communicate with our player base, the player base is already, they have a sunk cost fallacy in this game, right? They've sunk so much time, so much money into World of Warcraft. A lot of people don't want to leave. Hence why Destiny right now is in this same type of scenario where they've been around for 10 years. It's the end of Destiny 2, right? And I'm not saying it's the end of Destiny 2 like it's over for Destiny, they're never coming back. I'm saying the story plot, all right, for the final shape is the last of Destiny. And people are like, well, I'm going to play it because of their time. It's not even because of their money. It's about their time. They've spent a decade of their time inside that game. So they want to keep that going. They like, I've already have it this long, so why not just keep it going, right? Why not just keep playing the game? I want to see what happens. I like this game, and this is what I always talk about. If an IP comes along and you like that IP, you're going to constantly play that game, right? It doesn't matter if it's a bad game like a Suicide Squad or if it's a great game like a Final Fantasy 14, right? People that like certain games are going to continue playing those games, and the dips and valleys that happen is people get tired of it. Right? Single player game, you play, you put down, you come back a couple months later and you play it. With an online game, you're constantly playing that game, and you might be, gung-ho for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm kind of done. Then you get this rejuvenated appeal to it, and you're like, I'm gonna go back. Expansion's coming back. I'm gonna make a brand new character. You make a new character, and it goes back up again. That's what gaming is. I always find it funny that people are like, this game is dead, this game is dead, that game is dead. None of these games are dead. A dead game is when they stop supporting the game. That's a dead game, okay? And even if they stop supporting that game, there's still games that people play even though they're not being supported anymore because there's still a player base, okay? If it's 100 people, if it's 1,000 people, there's still a player base that play these games, and this is just the way it is. Let me know what you think. Do you think World of Warcraft is done, or do you think it's more popular than ever? I don't think it's more popular than ever because obviously the height of World of Warcraft was back in, about 6 years in, 7 years in. This game's 20 years old. Okay, to think that this game is going to be as successful as it was when it first came out, I think it's kind of delusional. There's the landscape of gaming has completely changed, right? A lot less games back then compared to what it is now. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what we do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Black Desert Online only has like 15,000 in Steam, and they're also a launcher, but I doubt it has more there. I think that the amount of players, when I looked it up, let me look it up. Let's see. Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online player count. Let's see. Player count. Now, very loose numbers here. Very loose numbers. It's ranked 19th. Okay, out of 140 tracked MMOs. Total players is 1334, but that's total players. 13 million total players. Okay, daily players is 126,000. Okay, so there you go. Again, I don't know how official this is, but we'll look up World of Warcraft in a second, right? So this is ranked 19th. Total players 13.34 and daily players 126,000. Okay, so. Now let me look up World of Warcraft here. Yeah. And then here is ranked 1, World of Warcraft. Total players, 138 million, which is literally 10 times the size of Black Desert Online. And this daily number is broke right now with 0. Okay, but that's the total player is 10 times the amount of, right? I would have to look up the let's see if we get a number for active players. Active players looks like there must be some. Is these servers down for World of Warcraft at the very moment? Because right now, average monthly players right now in the last 30 days, 8 million. 8 million. And I'm looking at it through this site. Last 30 days, in March average monthly users is 8.4. Last 30 days is 8.1. Right? So for someone to say that Black Desert Online is much more popular than World of Warcraft, just literally is just a fan of it. It's like, well, everyone's just we're playing Black Desert. It's a better game. I mean, regardless if you think it's a better game, the actual facts are it's World of Warcraft is 10 times the size of Black Desert Online. Black Desert Online was 19th in the ranking, right? 19th in the ranking, and World of Warcraft is number 1. Right? These are facts. Not taking anything away from Black Desert Online. Unless the company calls it a flop or stops supporting it, someone calling it a dead game means nothing. Exactly right, Jones. GPC says some places buy a server to keep playing a game that a game company isn't supporting anymore. Yeah. Star Wars Galaxies, right? Star Wars Galaxies has an actual fan-made site. Okay. Let's see. Star Wars Galaxies still has, let me see, Star Wars Galaxies player base right now. Not working. Let me see. I don't think I can look it up because it's not a official thing. But there's people, I think there's like 3,000 or 4,000 people that play on the server for Star Wars Galaxies. That's run by just the community. Sure, Mr. Kelly, but I'm not the one that's made the claim. You know what I'm saying? When I make a video talking about World of Warcraft and someone comes in and says, "Well, no one's playing World of Warcraft because they're playing Black Desert Online. It's a better game." And I'm like, that's fundamentally like false, right? That's what I'm saying. It's literally 10 times the size. I don't care if it's a true MMO or not. Pick any MMO. Doesn't matter what MMO you pick. It's still lower than World of Warcraft. Here, this is another great example. Okay, Final Fantasy 14, beloved MMO. Okay, ranked fifth. It's got 52 million. It's got one third of what the total player was for World of Warcraft, and the daily players, okay, is at 500,000, 500,000. Okay. Online playing right now for Final Fantasy is 98,000. Active players in the last 30 days, 17 million. Okay. That went on and tried it or whatever. And that's going to be a big boost because it just came out into Xbox as well. That's exactly right, Water. Right? I'm not saying that Black Desert Online is not a popular game, but the person making a claim that Black Desert Online is a better MMO, that's subjective for that person, but the actual fact is it's 1/10 of what World of Warcraft is. It just sounds good, though, right? Yeah, Black Desert Online. World of Warcraft's a dead game. Black Desert Online's a better game. Everyone's playing that. Yeah, everybody, that's 1/10. If there's 10 people in the room, one person's playing Black Desert Online. While the other 9 are playing World of Warcraft. But that's fact, Mike. Doesn't mean it's true. That's right. Hey, who cares about numbers? Facts don't mean anything in this day and age. Wish I had never touched Lost Ark like I did with Black Desert Online. Wish I had never touched Lost Ark. You didn't want to play Lost Ark? I enjoyed Lost Ark when we played it. We put quite a bit of time in it. Actually, how much time did I put in? That was on Steam, right? I think I put about 70, 80 hours into that game. Oh, was it not? It's not on. Was it their own browser? I don't even know how much time I put into it. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I put 164 hours in. Almost 165. Yeah, I put 165 hours in. Last time I played, holy shit. It's been 2 years. God, man, time just flies by. I remember when this game was coming out and we were talking and hyping it up and like looking at all the characters and all the stuff. It's been out for 2 years. Last time I played was May 16th, 2022. Oh my God, we are just right around the corner from that. Jesus Christ. What happened? No, I played Lost Ark. 2,000 hours. And dumped money into it. Oh. You're saying that you wish you'd never played it and played... Is that what you're saying, though, Quintar? I'm confused. So, you wish you never played it? And you wish you played Black Desert Online instead? I'm interested in their other game. Was it Crimson Desert? Is that what it is? That's a single-player game, though. That looks good. I can tell you, Water, you probably don't. you probably don't have time for an MMO at this time. Yeah, New World. Actually, I think New World's been out for 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't New World come out in 2021? Or did it come out in 2022? No, yeah. New World came out in 2021. September of 2021. It's been out for 2.5 years. That's also crazy. No, it's 21, Dolphin. Yeah, it's 21. And that game's still $40. $40, and they've done a couple of updates, right? And you don't have to pay any extra, if I'm not mistaken. In New World, they only have 80 hours in. It's on sale for 15. There was so many problems. Oh, there is. New World Rise of Angry Earth. Does that cost $30? $30 for the new update. I didn't know that. They put the mounts. Is there mounts in the game now? Is this the first time mounts came in the game? Or did they put mounts in the game? Because I haven't been paying attention. Oh my god. If they just put the mounts in, this is fantastic. Because I remember when the game... On this DLC, I said it when they first launched the game. I was like, of course they don't have mounts. I said, they're going to sell you the mounts later. So you have to buy the DLC for $40 to get the mounts. Yeah, make the problem, sell the solution, right? Well, right, this came out in October. So in October, they came out with the last DLC, Argus. So 2 years after the game came out, they finally put mounts in the game with the DLC. Yeah, it was very satisfying, though, to run and, like, chop the trees and the rocks. Like, the sound quality, like, the sound design inside of New World was really, really good. New World, I'm watching this trailer. It actually looks pretty good. Here, I'll put it up on the... Actually, yeah.
There was once an age when nature held sway over Eternal. Then humankind came to rob them of it. But now the tides turn. Earth's primal guardians will reclaim their dominion. All creatures will bend to our will. And those who stand in the way will feel the sting of our fury.
Command your mount. How much does that horse armor cost? No, I want water. So, yeah, I won't go back because my biggest issue with New World is that it was very, how do I put it? It was very difficult to play solo. I never played with anybody, right? And when I would go on the missions and whatnot, I didn't like the way the spawn. Maybe they changed it since the launch. It's been almost 3 years, right? But like, if I had to go from point A to point B to go, go kill this boss. And then you had to go through, like, the swamp area. And then to get to the boss, you had to, like, kill your way through each of the guys, right? All the NPCs and all the grunts or whatever. But if you had a little bit of issue with one, like, the one behind would spawn back in too quickly. And then you would get aggroed and you would have multiple guys on you. So if you were methodically going through and, like, getting your way to the boss and then you died at the boss, you would have to run back and then fight your way through all the guys again. And then get your stuff, and it was just very time consuming, and I didn't feel like it was respecting my time, right? I felt like the spawn points for the guys were just way too fast. And with other MMOs, you would, like, kill the guys, and then you would, if you were just fighting one guy and you stood in that area for like 2 to 3 minutes, you were just fighting the guy that you got to. You worked your way through. But they spawned so fast back in that I was, like, fighting multiple guys and we get overwhelmed, and that was it, right? Unless you were with a group, which is then it's a completely different game. Because then if you're with a group, you just mow through everybody, you kill the boss, and you walk away. But if you have solo play, it just doesn't feel good. Oddly enough, it was like a lot like RuneScape. Yes. Right? So I like the game, but I just don't have time to do the whole thing. You know what I mean? So if someone was playing with me and we had a group of people to play with, then I would maybe go back in. You still can't swim in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, so you can't touch the water. The water's still... I think it's funny, though, they have the mounts in the game now. I knew it. I was like, of course, when the game first came out, we talked about it. I was like, they don't have mounts. They want you to walk around. They'll tell you, oh, no, our world is so vast, and we want you to explore, and I was like, they're going to sell you the mounts later. I just didn't know it was going to be 2 years later. We want you to be a part of our world. Yeah, I don't have enough time. Hell, I went back and I had a blast last night playing with Argus and Sarge and First. We were playing Battlefront 2, the 2017 EA one. What a good time, man. What a good time that game is. I would rather go back to a game I enjoy than spend full price for a game that I don't know if it's broke, buggy, unfinished. Do you know what I mean? I'm almost happier to go back to a game that's 5 years old, knowing that it's actually, like, working correctly. I wanted to look at one more game before we get to the last video. The article you sent me, yeah, that's old. Travis, that's from January. We already covered that. This game looked interesting. I saw this, and then Dustin posted it in our Discord. This game looks very interesting.
A mission-based co-op PvE. Hi, I'm Philip Kolianos from Keepsake Games, and this is Jump Ship, a mission-based co-op PvE space adventure. In Jump
I'm sorry, did you say PvE co-op space adventure? Sold. I'm already sold.
Ship, teamwork is crucial. Mount turrets, tackle emergencies, and ensure your ship's integrity to complete missions and reap the rewards. While Jump Ship is best enjoyed with up to 4 players, solo players are welcome too. Each mission in Jump Ship demands strategic choices. Jump to riskier sectors with high risk, high reward, or take a safer route. Do you want components for your ship? Do you need repairs? Or perhaps
No, this is a different game. This is a different game. This is not that game, Water. This is a different game.
some extra credits.
I detect a jamming
Alright, we just arrived. There seems to be a jammer preventing us from jumping further. Let's make our way there and disable it. Using our sensors, we can tell that ships are patrolling the area. With some good positioning and teamwork though, I'm sure we can make our way past them undetected. We made it. Time to enter the facility. On foot, it's essential to stay together and use all gear and equipment you've looted to stay alive. When that's done and all loot is collected, it's time to return to the ship and... Pirates! All crew to their stations!
Wait a minute. Are these guys... Did they just jump out onto their ship as they're fighting? Okay, that's dope.
Oof, that was close. Good thing nothing got severely broken. Let's jump to the next sector. I wonder what we'll find there. Jump Ship is packed with a wide range of challenges from intense ship battles to on-foot exploration and sometimes a mix of both. Every jump will feel fresh and give you something different. So in a nutshell, you start with choosing your ship, you go on a mission, reap the rewards, and then return back to your hangar. There you can upgrade your ships, purchase new equipment before embarking on a new adventure. And that's Jump Ship. Preach wishlist, like and subscribe, and join our community.
Jump Ship. Did you say IGN did a preview of this? All right, we'll watch that because it's not a review. God knows I don't want to watch fucking IGN's review of things. Hold on. Okay, they have a 4-minute video.
My job affords me the wonderful opportunity to go into a game
Oh,
demo
yay, it's Ryan.
completely blind and come out completely enlightened. All I knew about Jump Ship before I met with 3 of its 10-person Swedish development team, including Daniel Kaplan, who was employee number 1 at Mojang, and Philip Koulianos, a co-founder at Hazelight, was that it was codenamed Hyperspace and that it would be a, quote, 4-player co-op adventure where you and 3 of your friends get to live the ultimate space fantasy. It started as a tech demo, but
So basically what everyone wanted Starfield to be, right? Right? It's Starfield, co-op Starfield. Okay.
everyone loved it, so now it's being made into a full game. I was fortunate enough to play a 30-minute session with Kaplan, Koulianos, and another member of Keepsake Games, and I was blown away. The headline you clicked
Just say the mix of Sea of Thieves and Left 4 Dead.
on to get into this video is not hyperbole. By Keepsake's own definition, and one that I'd co-sign after playing the game for myself, Jump Ship is a clear mix of Sea of Thieves, Left 4 Dead, and FTL. The Sea of Thieves piece comes from the fact that you and your 3 teammates all work together to fly, upgrade, customize, and maintain a single spaceship. One of you flies it.
Okay, I have a question now. The ship that you're customizing and upgrading, how does that work? If I'm, maybe they'll say it in the video, but if you're in my game, right? I'm the host. Me, Robert Jones, Water, and Neutralizer are all in the same game. You're in my game. We're all working together. Is this my ship and we're customizing my ship and you guys don't get to customize your ship? And then if you go to your game, do you know what I mean? Like if you go to your game, do you get the same upgrades that I got because we all work together? How's that going to work?
While the others can wander around inside of it or even on the outside of it if you pass through an airlock and then use your magnetized boots to stomp around the hull, manning, fixing, or upgrading the ship's cannons. That in and of itself is fun. But even if Jump Ship was just Sea of Thieves in space, where you and your crew...
I think that would be fine too, right? If you were just playing Sea of Thieves but a spaceship instead of water, pirate ship, I think that's a good concept of a game right there.
...cooperated in ship-to-ship battles, it'd still probably be pretty cool.
Oh, nice. That was the hit.
But instead, you'll also land your ship, use your jet drive to awesomely fly through the air like Superman away from or towards your ship, go into instanced combat areas and battle AI enemies. Jump Ship, by the way, is a purely PvE game, marking one major difference from Sea of Thieves, in encounters that can get pretty tough, thus necessitating cooperation with your pals.
Gotcha. A grenade, Spider-Bot.
Add in that an AI director, to use Valve's term, dynamically populates these encounters, and you can see where the Left 4 Dead ingredient in Jump Ship's recipe comes from.
Manual override is required.
I had a fantastic time blasting bots with the Keepsake developers. Finally, FTL. On board your ship, you'll manage power conduits and other ship functions in an FTL-esque minigame, which sadly I don't have footage of. All of it combines into a moment-to-moment that's never dull and constantly evolving.
Hostile entities detected.
Just when you get bored of manning the ship, assuming you're not the pilot, which by the way is super fun, it's time to land and go into full first-person shooter mode. And when you've done plenty of shooting and got your loot reward and are escaping and being blasted at as your ship departs, you're scrambling aboard the ship to make necessary repairs like a Star Trek crew.
That's cool.
Meanwhile, you can choose any number of mission types from your ship map, from smaller loot-light payoffs that won't take too long, to longer multi-part episodes that have bigger rewards. Keepsake promises a metagame that will enable various forms of permanent character and ship progression, but naturally I didn't have a chance to see those in my short hands-on session. Still, I've seen enough to be thoroughly convinced. Jump Ship is going to take us through crazy space battles, dogfights in the skies of planets, intense on-foot missions on the ground, and more. All while working together with 3 friends in ways that feel fun and useful without being frustrating. Kaplan and Koulianos told me that it's going to ship simultaneously on PC and Xbox whenever it's finally ready, and I can't wait. For more looks at the latest upcoming games, check out our previews.
It's coming out on Xbox and PC simultaneously. So no PlayStation. Interesting. I have a lot of questions. I think it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It definitely looks cool because I like the fact that you get to be with the crew. Some of the updates I can see is having like small fighters on your ship. So like when you upgrade your ship, that when you upgrade your ship, you can have small little fighters. So you have like 2 people on your ship and then 2 fighters supporting your ship as you're doing. That would be cool, right? But I really hope that whatever you do, he kind of says at the end that you'll get upgrades and stuff for your ship. But again, if I'm in Robert Jones's game and my am I receiving rewards when I go to play my single player game? You know what I mean? And how's the difficulty scale from when you're playing by yourself? Because they do say in the other video, single player people are welcome, but does it scale to single player compared to 2, 3, 4 player co-op? It is interesting though. It is interesting. I could see a game mode. I could see a game mode where it's just PvP, 4-man crews, just like ship battles in Sea of Thieves, but now in space, like your own Star Trek crew. It's interesting. Now it's early on. You could sign up for the wish list or whatever, but on Steam, that'd be interesting to see when it comes out. Looks cool. All right, the last thing I want to talk about or watch today is a video from It's Hawk. All right, he's got 1,062 subscribers. He's got quite a bit of videos. He's got 37 videos, and he reminds me a little bit of the way he does his video, and it's not edited like that, but someone that's smaller but makes good stuff. He reminds me of a Kingard, but he has a lot more subscribers. But he's got a couple of videos here that hit like 57,000, 70,000, 52,000. So good for him. So we're gonna watch one of his videos. This one is called "Modern Gaming is a Scam." If you guys like what I do here, I do this Monday through Thursday. We just have conversations and go over gaming news. Have conversations back and forth with chat. We do this from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. I do appreciate everyone coming out. If you like, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do podcasts, uploads, gameplay, and live streams on this channel. All right, let's watch this, shall we?
The modern day gaming industry is broken and scamming us all. Not just you and me,
His name is in the description down below as well if you want to go watch the video without me on the screen and talking over it.
Joe and Jane Schmoes, but everyone. Developers, companies, and consumers alike. With slow but steady injections of things such as price hikes, microtransactions, annoying
I like how he said macrotransactions, not micro.
pre-order trends, and the removal of our agency over the games we supposedly own. All of this is a battle we seemingly have already lost and accepted like so many other slights. This enormous greed and the need to continue to please the incompetent at the top has resulted in a dark shadow being cast in the industry, and yet there is hope for a better tomorrow, even if that better tomorrow would require an upheaval unlike anything we have seen in the industry so far. So let's talk about it.
Now come here, my fat concubine. I want you bigger. I want you fatter. It will please me.
Thanks to Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard and the CMA's concerns, we were able to gain a rare insight into a variety of things. Most importantly, the genuinely insane amounts of money being poured into video games at the moment. A publisher claimed that the cost of development and marketing has risen to $1 billion. Let me repeat that. The cost of development and marketing for one
expensive game cost $660 million to develop with a marketing budget of $550 million. Jesus.
Let me repeat that. The cost of development and marketing for one game has risen to $1 billion with a B. The development of a Call of Duty game clocks in at around $300 million, and GTA was expected to eclipse $250 million with ease. Or look across the aisle at Sony. Spider-Man 2 cost Insomniac $300 million. It was so expensive that they
I love the looks.
went over budget. Guess how much? 1 million? No. 5 million? 15 million? Don't make me laugh. 30 million. And the craziest part? The total budget at the end for Spider-Man 2 turned out to be 3 times the amount of money spent making Spider-Man 1. The understandable need to recoup these mind-boggling investments has
Is this Kingard's foreign evil twin?
forced studios and publishers alike to push out more content to get a continuous revenue stream, microtransactions for example. However, the development for these added products also costs them an incredible amount of money, which they also need to recoup. This makes it all the more ironic that both Sony and Warner Brothers are still thinking that live service games are the way to go, with Sony still developing 6 and Warner Brothers trying to make the next Hogwarts installment a live service game, entirely ignoring the fact that it succeeded because it was a finished story that people could pick up and play at their own leisure. Live service games rarely are the way to go without tripping.
See, when they say, I love that they put this, and yes, there are some failures here. Okay, there are some failures here, right? Fallout 76 failed as a live service game when it launched, but it's still here today. It's 5 years old, still here. So that's not a fail. Okay, Evolved, that did fail. Okay, Marvel's Avengers, that failed. Anthem failed. Lawbreakers failed. Babylon's Fall failed. And Battleborn. Battleborn you can't even play. It's delisted. It's gone. Lawbreakers is gone. Okay, Suicide Squad, we're in the midst of completely destroying that game. Marvel's Avengers, you can still play it. People play it, but it is a fail as a live service. The only one that's not a fail on this is Fallout 76. Fallout 76 shouldn't be on that list.
And falling face first into a pit of acid placed on top of a nuke that is about to go off. They have a curse placed on them, that of horrible launch states, and it takes time, money, and commitment to eventually reap those rewards, which I highly doubt Warner Brothers has the patience to stick around for, and Sony as well, as they are releasing 6 of them by March 2026.
Hold on, I like that meme.
Around 4, and Sony as
500 studios working on live service games. The gaming landscape.
well as they are
Just completely destroying it with all the live service games, right? We talk about this a lot, right? We talk about as far as live service games are not the problem. Bad games that are live service games are the problem. And the problem with live service games is that if you have so many of the same type of live service games, 490 games are going to fail? Because there's no way, you don't have enough time. There's not enough people to play these games to be successful, especially if the games are bloated and they cost $300, $400, $500 million in their live service, right? You're not going to get the World of Warcraft numbers. You're not going to get these types of numbers. There's going to be a lot of games that are live service and very small little amounts of players in each one, and they're going to fail, right? They're going to fail.
releasing 6 of them by March 2026. Something has got to give. And if they do not want it to be the amount of games they produce, it has to be the marketing. According to some testimonies, marketing alone can range from $50 million up to $550 million. How in the ever-loving hell is this supposed to be sustainable?
It's not.
How do investors expect this to work? There isn't an unlimited amount of money available in the world. A great example for this is how the PS5, the console that is so hotly desired that Xbox has kinda given up on the Series X and was constantly unavailable during the thing that YouTube does not like mentioned, where we had to stay inside all of the time, sold 25 million units and had a 12% revenue increase year over year, but due to the cost of development for games, the overall profit fell by 49%. That is just a tiny bit more than the amount of revenue lost by Bungie in the fiscal year of 2023. Right. And speaking of Bungie...
Hello, Guardian.
Oh, he's a Destiny player.
Shanks.
When you think of playing a video game, what do you feel? Is it relaxation? Is it stress? Is it awe and wonder? Whatever.
Mine is relaxation and awe and wonder. I don't have stress when I play video games.
It may be, games usually evoke these feelings on purpose. People have worked for years to make these certain feelings for the specific game be felt by those who get to experience them. Now take these feelings...
El Dente. The answer is all of them. I don't have any stress when I play video. This happened because of life, not because of video games.
And the game associated with them, and shove a big banner in there that is forcing an ad in your face telling you to buy this obnoxious new thing that they want you to waste way too much money on. No matter what kind of feeling you have felt before, it is now spiked with annoyance or even anger. You may have heard of this from videos such as the one that Acecross made, a prolific Destiny content creator, about the obnoxious microtransactions that have snuck their way into the game over time. In the past, Bungie stealthily throttled the gain of XP in Destiny 2 to see what...
Yeah, no, that was a mistake, remember? Right? Bungie reducing the XP gains was a mistake. They didn't know. They didn't expect you to find out. Remember that? Turns out the answer is yes. A number of Redditors did exhaustive tests to prove that showing the enormous piles of XP would result in only a tiny increase of XP bar. Yeah. It added up to 1.5 lost bright engrams every 3 hours.
Earn Eververse engrams slower, these engrams essentially just being cosmetic only loot boxes, as a way to push you towards buying their premium currency to either directly buy their cosmetics or buy packs of these engrams, and as this was exposed, they of course did the regular song and dance of apologizing and removing the offense.
Of course, sorry we got caught. We didn't expect you to figure out that we were giving you less stuff to force you towards the microtransactions. Yeah, sorry. Our mistake. Don't worry, we'll do it again to you.
Practice. However, Bungie didn't only have a monkey's paw that curled, they had a stack of monkey limbs curling in some cellar at the same time.
Yeah, they definitely had monkey's paw.
As they then proceeded to get more greedy and more lazy over the course of the next few years.
Of course.
They got rid of the prismatic matrix, a weekly roll of the dice that would get you a guaranteed item out of it.
I didn't play. I don't even know what the fuck this is. I stopped playing before the Matrix here.
I say like 10 for free that ran on a knockout basis. So if you ever got an item from the Ever Shit store, it would not appear in this matrix, guaranteeing you a new cosmetic item no matter what. Then they removed the Bright Dust bounties, Bright Dust being earnable currency.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
To buy cosmetics for free, and multiple sources of bright engrams, those loot boxes I spoke of before. And in place of these, they started adding cosmetic bundles that you could only acquire through their premium currency, which we will get to later. Expansions that had way too little for the amount of money asked of you, and in at least one case, was shoehorned in. I will not believe for a second that Lightfall was not an expansion that they had to shove in there to please the useless executives at the top. Year by year, they kept pulling.
Lightfall, was that the one after? What was the one I played with the snow? That Lightfall? I forget which one that one was.
Back on the content delivered, but kept expanding the contents in their paid store, even at one point separating dungeons from the seasons that—
Oh yeah, them separating the dungeons. They weren't part of the expansion, then they charge you afterwards. The key is 2,000 silver, which is $20. $20 for the expansion.
they used to come with, and then hiking the price of
Beyond Light, The Witch Queen, and Lightfall. Beyond Light is what I played last. That's the last one I played.
Of those seasons. While the game was being neglected, the store was being constantly updated, even getting new UIs, even though the promised yearly refresh of the core playlist loot was never delivered. And while yes, one can say we got so many new armors through the season pass and seasonal cosmetics that look way better anyway, do you not think that they made the playlist armor look absolutely mid on purpose?
Of course they did. Every company does. You don't think... how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that Harley Quinn, that shuts the locker during the story because it's her old gear? How much you want to bet that they put that in the microtransaction store down the line for people to buy? How much you want to bet they put that outfit in the microtransaction store for people to buy? Who wants to take that bet? Anyone? Anybody want to take that bet? Right? Of course they make your characters mid-looking, okay? And this is where people will come and defend a game and go, well, it's not like they were going to put it in the game where you can earn it. They made better gear for it. Hello? If there wasn't a microtransaction store, they would have made your character look so badass because that was in the game, and then you would have earned that other cosmetics in the game by beating bosses, finding hidden chests, doing all this stuff. But no, they went, hey, what about if we just put mid stuff all over the game, and then we put all the really cool stuff in the microtransaction store? No, they would never do that.
Purpose, so they can't say people weren't using it. They even added the starter pack, which included some weapons, cosmetics, and resources for $15. The best part? The weapons weren't even useful at that point in the meta. The amount of resources you got was laughable, and both of which could be earned in—
Yeah, Rose, how do they not take the character, going back to Suicide Squad, and give you the red dress that Harley Quinn wore within the Suicide Squad movie? Like, how do you not take the cosmetic outfits that she wore in the movies that Margot Robbie wore and put those in the microtrans? You know they are, right? You know they're going to put Jared Leto's Joker character outfits or the traditional Joker outfits in the microtransaction store. You know they are, because these are not going to sell. And they're like, well, how do we get these people to buy? Well, let's put an iconic outfit in there, and then people will buy it.
The game in a relatively acceptable amount of time. This blew up so much that they took that bundle off the store ASAP. Okay, I need to calm down. This is not a hate video on Bungie after all. Okay. So,
I'm not mad, just disappointed. He's mad. We're all mad. It's okay.
we all surely remember the loot box fiasco of Battlefront 2. A fiasco so disastrous and so unifying due to
We just played it last night. It's a goddamn good game, man. It's bad that because of the microtransaction loot boxes.
its shittiness that the collective uproar of the gaming community caused governments to step in. Has it achieved
Argus says, don't worry, Mike. Some of us are still stuck in the Matrix to suffer in your place. Well, I appreciate that.
much? One can argue about that, but the fact that it got to that point in the year 2017 is absolutely insane. Hold on, there is one more thing about Bungie I have to add.
He went back to Bungie. He left Bungie, said he wasn't mad. Now he's going back to Bungie. He's definitely mad. It's okay. Altern says, you know when you need to justify that you're not mad, that we all know that you're mad. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Remember this? I ignored it in the past, think
Wait, what was that? What was that?
one more thing about Bungie I have to add. Remember this?
Beware of over-delivery. You're creating patterns. That's right. You want to under-deliver, right? You want to under-promise and over-deliver, right? Under-promise, over-deliver. You don't want to over-deliver and under-promise. Because then you make a pattern.
I ignored it in the past, thinking it cannot be that bad. Boy, was I wrong. I genuinely hate the statement with a burning passion. A little while ago, during the final years of E3, we got this gem of a scene.
Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No, it's
The game director denied the announcement.
Oh, you want the shoeless Margot Robbie skin where you got to pay for that one? You sick fuck. You know they're going to put it in. You know they're going to put it in.
Being a joke, which is honestly correct, as he is the joke. Later trying to gaslight people into believing that the very justified criticism was based on mere misinformation and not fact. I don't know, man. The fact that you need to pay around
$110,000 worth of gems.
$1,000 to reach max power is pretty self-evident in that matter. And let's not forget how CDPR, creators of Cyberpunk 2077, tried saying that hating on the game at release was merely the popular thing to do.
You know what? This is the one thing.
Tried saying that hating on the game.
This is the one thing I say fuck you to CD Projekt Red. Okay? Those of you that want to defend the company and stuff like that, cool. Okay? Just know that these fuckers tried to dick you over. Okay? They tried to dick you over after saying we're not going to be like those guys, and they came out and they were just like those guys.
Game at release was merely the popular thing to do, all the while obfuscating the state of the game during the review.
Yeah, first of all, we'd like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game at the base last-gen consoles before premiere and the consequences, not allowing you to make more informed decisions about your purchase, and we should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Fuck you.
Pure.
And I didn't even buy it. I didn't buy it.
Who may bitch and moan about how I
think because of my outburst of saying fuck you to CD Projekt Red, they're gonna have to report it to toxic systems. They're gonna have to report it. They're gonna have to report me for being toxic.
This in about how macro transactions keep ruining our games, but compared to us, sports gamers have it way worse. And most of them do not even realize it. In fact, they welcome it. As someone living in Germany, finding someone who plays FIFA and only FIFA is like finding sand on a beach. It is very easy, and when they talk about FIFA, they always glow with pride when talking about how they got a super rare player card for a special mode, and they will brag about it constantly, simply ignoring the fact that it took them ages and tons of card pack openings to get it, only for them to do it all.
That's right, I'll turn. I mean, please do, because I guess that would show my channel to more people, and then they would talk, and then people would come and watch my channel. I guess that'd be good, right?
All over again in the copy-paste release the year after. I'm honestly wondering how they get the money for that every single year. It is the same kind of mystery as how
the sports things, man, I don't get. I mean, to all the power to you. If you have all the money in the world to spend on these cosmetic packs and characters, and then every year you do it again by buying the game and then spending thousands of dollars to build your team back up. I mean, good for you.
Most wealthy.
Just know that you're the problem. Just know you're the problem. That's fine.
Infrequent art commissioners are furries. I don't know where you guys get the money from, but goddamn, whatever you're doing, good on you. Cosmetics used to be the line where one could argue microtransactions were okay. They didn't affect gameplay, and usually one could get equally good looking gear by just playing the game, and in the off chance you couldn't, it was begrudgingly accepted as, again, they weren't as obtrusive as pay-to-win microtransactions were. Today though, it's a different story. Challenges that used to give you some sort of cosmetic incentive now just don't have those anymore. Instead, they were moved to paywalls or obscenely difficult challenges that may or may not be feasible. Or if you're a Warhammer 40k Darktide, they will just slap a different color on and we'll call it a day once.
Yeah, that's just not that game. That's any game, right? Suicide Squad, Marvel's Avengers, Anthem. It's just a shaded color. It's green, and it's like olive green, and it's forest green, and they charge you an additional money.
You've unlocked the final stage of a prison overalls. It feels crippling. And it even got so bad that children, the little demons that they are, have started bullying each other if they don't.
Uh-oh. We covered that. We covered that back in February about people bullying each other about the cosmetics they're wearing. Right? That they gotta report that to toxic systems. Okay, people bullying each other about, you've got last season's skin on in Fortnite. How dare you, you poor schmuck.
Don't have the latest, coolest skins. They feel ostracized from their peers if they don't play the same game and buy those skins. Or look at Halo.
Did that article say one 13-year-old Frank added, if you don't play with anyone, you kind of have nothing to talk about at school. Well, that's so sad. That's so sad. Right? I ask my son every day, how's school? Make any friends? You talk to friends, what do you talk about? Right? He hasn't said yet. Maybe he's hiding it from me, but 13-year-old Frank says, if you don't play with anyone, you kind of have nothing to talk about.
Years if they don't play the same.
If you're looking for friends to hang out with, maybe you should get different friends if you're trying to fit in with that crowd. I don't know.
Game.
Easier said than done. Hindsight's 2020. Being older, looking back, when you're in that moment, it's really hard to decide.
And buy those skins.
You think your whole world is over if Scott and Kimmy don't become friends with you.
Or look at Halo Infinite. It was so extremely stingy with its cosmetics that you need to get a single color unlocked multiple times for every single armor core. A color. Hell, Monster Hunter is not free of this. If you watch my channel or follow me on Twitter, which you most likely don't do either of, you will know that I absolutely would give Monster Hunter the grapefruit method for
YouTuber would nuke my channel if I showed it, so I enjoy the audio of it.
Free if it was a person.
What is that?
Absolutely would give Monster Hunter the grapefruit method for free if it was a person.
Oh.
I adore Monster Hunter, but not even it is free of this scummy behavior. By the way, before we keep going, this is my chance to ask you all to like and subscribe. I make infotainment videos with shitty jokes. In Monster Hunter's latest release,
shitty jokes.
Monster Hunter Rise, the community.
Some people might get offended by the shitty jokes, but not me.
Community was disappointed to find out that most event quests, missions that were added post-release with either fun challenges or zany changes, would no longer give cosmetic or special armor like they did in the past. Yes, not every event quest did so even in prior releases, and nobody expected every single added quest to bury you in extra cosmetics, but people expected some.
Is this the last one?
Said,
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreaker Deluxe Kit. Oh, so this is not Monster Hunter World. I got it. Okay. All DLC combined, including Sunbreaker, $650. Only talking cosmetic armor. Okay.
all the cool transmog armor was sold. Ah yes, Monster Hunter, a game where you are rewarded by persevering against challenges, where your armor reflects your achievements on the game. You can simply choose to buy fancy looking gear with no strings attached. Cause that makes sense. The sense of pride and accomplishment, as EA liked to put it.
They don't understand that, right?
That makes
they don't
sense.
understand
The sense of pride and accomplishment.
The reason for respecting your time, right? You buy the game with your hard-earned money to play the game, and with that money, you want the entire game to be included into that game. Okay. Now you could look at this and go, well, they're also respecting the people that don't have time to play that game, and they would like that armor as well. Okay. So they want them to purchase that armor and not play the game. So buy the game, don't play the game, then purchase the cosmetics for the game. So you have the cool cosmetics in the game that you're not playing. So you look and feel accomplished. Okay. Game developers don't understand that people like to buy the game, play your game, enjoy the game, and earn stuff in the game going, hey, I beat the game. It's not about just beating the game and going, oh, yeah, I beat this game. It's, I beat this game and I got this thing. So then when you have conversations with other people, hey, did you play this? I did. Oh, I played it too. Did you get this armor? No, I didn't get that armor. Oh, where do you get that? And you have like these conversations, and you feel like there's a sense of pride and accomplishment inside the game.
Accomplishment, as EA liked to put it, was simply not there. Instead, we were supposed to get hyped for gestures and titles and stickers. 3 things that I barely ever saw used online. Any game that does this essentially removes any and all incentive there is to go after challenges for the casual players, as they get no tangible rewards for their efforts. However, if you look at free-to-play games, the sentiments differ quite a lot.
Of course.
A free-to-play game needs to be profitable somehow.
It's got to be profitable, meaning a free-to-play game has got to be good. It's got to be fun to play. And because we didn't put the upfront money for it, we're like, oh, wow, this is a really fun game. I'll give them a couple bucks.
So it is generally accepted that they require microtransactions to keep the lights on and feed their people. Premium-priced games having these macrotransactions makes no sense. Some have even double or triple dipped into the wallets of consumers, adding battle passes to the already existing macrotransactions and premium currencies, which, by the way, only exist to squeeze more money out of.
He went back to Destiny again. Oh, man. Destiny has hurt him. Hawk, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I know you don't know me, okay, but I feel your pain. Brother, you have many people amongst us that also felt this way about Destiny. It's like an AA meeting. If you need help, give me a holler. We'll talk you off the cliff of Destiny.
Of you than are required by making the in-game purchases slightly lower or higher than what you can get by buying the pack that is closest to the price, so you have to buy the next most expensive pack there. The simple idea of macrotransactions is so revolting to players that when a game announces that it won't have macrotransactions in it, it will be hailed as the next game of the year.
Yeah.
The moment a game adds macrotransactions, you will immediately start questioning
I do respect him saying macro the entire time. Macro transactions.
Game design. If something appears to be excessively difficult or tedious, is it truly meant to be difficult, or is it meant to fun?
I love this. This is the problem. Like, everyone looks at this and says, "Well, Dragon's Dogma, people are overhyping it or over exaggerating what it is." This is a fundamental problem. The guy comes out and explains why Dragon Dogma 2 has a limited fast travel system, which is designed to encourage players to naturally explore the open world and discover interactive encounters.
Meant to be difficult, or is it meant to funnel you towards?
Sells you a warp marker. Now, people look at this and say, "Well, it's not a big deal. You can earn them in the game." That's fine. Then why are they selling it? If you can earn them in game, then why do they take it? This is a test. If it's only one that you can buy, then next time it's 2, and next time it's 3, and the next time it's 4, right? It's a test. You don't. This shouldn't be in the amount of money that you'll lose from this because of the marketing of, oh, they're selling microtransactions in this full price game. That's a problem.
Towards spending money. The moment that option is merely presented to you, you've already lost trust and goodwill. But that is.
What does it say at the? Okay, hold on. Joined forces with pawns to skill the various weapons. Oh, it's from the thing. Okay.
Option is merely presented to you. You've already lost trust and goodwill. But that isn't all there is. A special kind of macrotransaction was introduced a while ago, but resurfaced just recently with a vengeance. Pre-order trends and special editions.
Right. And that's another one, right? That's another thing now.
With a vengeance.
So not only
trends and
so now you don't need, right? You get the pre-order, you get the $30 extra, then you get the DLC, you get the microtransaction, you get the skin pack, you get the it's on top of special editions.
In the past, a pre-order would net you some cosmetics at best, but at some point this was changed to gaining gear that would have an effect on the game, and then to gaining access to closed betas. Even more recently, this was changed to having to pay extra to get that early access.
Right. Now they're making, think about this, right? The game's $70. That's $70, but they charge half that for 3 days. 3 days early access, they're giving you half the price of an actual full price game. So $30 for 3 days, it's $10 a day. Can you imagine? Think about that. $70 for the eternity of the game. $30 for just 3 days early access. A hell of a quarter to put into a machine.
It genuinely feels like shit that you have to pay an additional $30 to get the game on its actual release date, while everybody else has to endure a delayed release. I don't know why this was accepted, but I do have a small theory. A game theory.
If you guys don't know, goodbye internet. Game Theorist is done. He's not doing channel anymore.
Oh, I think that due to how many
good joke. It's a good joke.
More mainstream games tend to have a vast amount of special versions that one can order, it just kind of got lost in the sauce because you would need a degree in cryptography to figure this shit out.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? Well, you get the standard edition if you pre-order, and you get this to get the main game. But if you get the starter dash pack, you get the 100 bonus coins and a mirror mode unlock. But if you get the premium fun pack, you get the hard mission. You don't get the actual main game, but you don't get the 100 bonus tokens. But you do get the hard mission, letterbox background, creator animation manual. But if you get the classic music pack, you just get the additional music track from Mega Drive Genesis titles. But if you get the deluxe digital edition, you get the main game, but not the 100 bonus coins, not the mirror mode unlock. You get the hard missions, but you don't get the letterbox background, but you do get the character. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Buy a game. Just want to buy the game. Buy the game. Put everything in the one thing and just let me buy the game.
And worst of all is that it keeps working. I myself cannot exclude myself from this, as up to as recently as Months on Arise did I pre-order games. Granted, I narrowed it down to Capcom games only, but the point still stands that this practice gives studios or publishers an influx of money without having to ship a
Cyberpunk 2077 has sold more than 13 million copies despite launch disaster and refunds. The world is doomed. The world is doomed. Right? The world is doomed.
A finished product on release day. Sure, they may get bad reviews, and
that they look at that and say, we can literally sell a broken game. We can sell a broken game, broke, buggy, okay, and people will buy it by the millions, tens of millions.
And some refunds after the fact, but a majority of people will not refund those games. And if you are so unlucky as to have bought Jedi Survivor on PC, you know what I mean by that.
Yep.
And it hasn't helped that we have to pay more for either the same amounts of content.
Even Call of Duty standards, Modern Warfare 3's campaign is very short. Modern Warfare 3 is the first Call of Duty to launch with no original 6v6 maps. Less for the same. And everyone's like, love it. Love Call of Duty. Gotta keep buying Call of Duty. Paid $70, get less of a game. Love my Call of Duty. I don't care, bro. Having more fun. I'm having fun. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're paying the same price for less of a game. You're making a standard of the video game. You're making a mockery, okay, of everybody else that actually wants an actual game that's finished. They actually have a full-fledged game that you paid $70 for, but now you paid $70 for less of a game. And they're like, okay, this is what they asked for. See, people like it. No one complains.
Content or even less.
4 times, maybe. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Since the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, prices have ranged from $40 to $60. But with the start of the PS5 and Xbox Series X generation, game prices have been raised by around $10. Companies reasoned that this increase would be reflected in the value of games going forward, alongside the increasing cost of development.
We should do this, ready? They say they have to keep the lights on, so we have to raise the prices of video games, otherwise we can't make it. Great. I can't buy your game unless you provide me a full-fledged game. How did Activision become this multi-billion-dollar industry company, okay? because I paid for their $30 game in the past. I paid for their $40 game in the past. They made a game. They sold a game. I bought that game. And then became an empire because they sold millions of copies. But now they have to sell hundreds of millions and billions of dollars of product. Not actual copies anymore. They have to sell the microtransactions. They have to sell the stuff because we have to keep this going. No. Stop making the games that you're making overbloated and then charge me nickel and dime me for $30 early access, no single player, no extra missions, all the cosmetics, microtransactions, selling a dot, right? You're selling all of these things and yet giving less of a product. How about you make a game, you sell the game, I'll buy the game when it's actually complete.
Recouping costs and adjusting for inflation, in addition to higher console prices, online subscriptions, and added macrotransactions or paid next-gen upgrades. Capcom is one of the few companies that abstained from raising prices for a long while, but raised them in the end as well. However, they are one of the companies that I would argue actually held up their end of the bargain by not only meeting, but also exceeding the quality bar that would warrant an increased price tag. They also stated that they needed to raise wages, which is honestly a commendable reason to raise prices because they have been putting in the work. Although, to be fair, games in general have gotten more complex. Most now include various recurring payment sources that would have allegedly been done away with were the prices raised. Well, prices are raised. Why do we still have these shit?
What was that? Wait a minute, what was that?
Well, prices
Spooky Man.
are raised.
999,909. I'm sorry, is this real? What is this from?
Why do we still have these shit?
That had to be a placeholder. That had to be a placeholder.
Practices shoved into every game. The industry has gotten so bloated that it is unsustainable to keep going like this, but instead of scaling back, they keep pushing things further and further. Microsoft thought that Game Pass would alleviate the problem, but it isn't a solution for those who would like to own their games, as game ownership has also come into question. Steam actually did try something that sounded great at first, but, well, it wasn't great for everyone. Regional pricing. Countries with stronger currencies have to pay less, but those who live in countries with weaker currencies have to pay nearly hundreds of bucks more than they
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
used to. Sure, one could change the place of residence to maybe get some discounts on Steam, but now you can only do so once every few months. Even if you have the money, games come out unfinished and broken.
Right? What is the benefits of me buying a game day one? Because if I wait, I get the full game, full patches, cheaper price, it actually works. But if I pay full price, I'm a beta tester. Game's broken frame rate, game's broke, buggy, unfinished, right? You're waiting 6 months for a patch to come in to fix all that stuff. You're paying full price for that. You're paying for the extra cosmetics. If you wait, right? If someone picks up today Marvel's Avengers, which you can't because they don't sell it anymore, but if you bought it right before it went off, you literally got everything everyone had to wait 2 years for, and all the cosmetics for what was it, $20? It's crazy.
With refunds simply being extremely hard to get or not possible at all. PlayStation will only let you refund something if you don't download a game you bought, and Steam only allows refunds if you have less than 2 hours within a 14-day period on any given game, which is unbelievably little time to figure out if you want to keep a game or not, but at the very least, that was done for a good reason. That is, however, if you aren't the day before or Cyberpunk 2077 at release.
Jones says we have to keep up with the Joneses. Are we keeping up with the Joneses, or are we keeping up with you, Jones? Which one are we doing? Are we keeping up with the Joneses, or are we keeping up with Robert Joneses?
Which made both Steam and PlayStation do unprecedented refunding campaigns, which is genuinely amazing, because I didn't know that they would ever do something like that. You know what isn't amazing though?
See, hold on. The day before, publisher offers refunds for everyone regardless of playtime.
Refunding campaigns, which is genuinely amazing, because I didn't know that they would ever do something like that. You know what isn't amazing though?
Aren't we forgetting one teensy-weensy but ever so crucial little tiny detail?
Keep up with me and everyone would save money. That's right. That's right.
I own you!
We all enjoy having space and things.
You know what that picture right there says 1,000. You know a picture's worth 1,000 words? This says everything, right? Person can't afford a couch or a table or a stand for their thing. They live in a nice apartment, okay? I don't know what the rest of the apartment looks like, okay? But they'll buy their video games. They'll buy their microtransactions. They'll pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a microtransaction skin, but they won't get a couch for themselves. Amazing.
Things be easily accessible.
That would be me if it wasn't for my wife. If your house looks like this, at least buy 2 things here, okay? 3 things. 3 things. You buy an actual couch. You buy a television stand, or keep the box the couch came in to put the TV on, okay? And get yourself, if you don't want to buy a lamp, get a flashlight and some extra batteries.
At all times. So the clutter of physical media can be quite distressing to some.
A chair is too much. A true man sits on the floor.
And while I personally...
Come on, I said keep the box for the couch. I didn't say buy an additional stand.
Value physical copies of my games, I have stopped getting them ever since I switched to PC. Most if not all of my games now are digital only, which does make me worry about my access to them, as lots of game studios have decided that their games should be always online games. So if a studio decides that the servers need to be taken offline, the game will be sent to oblivion, never to be recovered. Or if we are lucky, they will be remade, but as broken.
If we're lucky, they'll be remade. If we're lucky. Because even when they're remade, they're not even working correctly.
And overpriced remasters that do not justify their existence, aside from the fact that the original was removed. Art is essentially being destroyed. The hard work of people that worked their butts off in an industry that brutalizes the people which built it is being thrown away so that a useless pencil pusher at the top can get a few extra $1 million that they do not need nor deserve. And things like second-hand purchases of games will fall away as well. Some companies may just delist games so they can get tax breaks.
That's right. That's right, they will delist
some
them.
Companies may just delist.
Yeah, developers on the Adult Swim published games have made a mention of publishing delisting, but an across-the-board takedown wouldn't be entirely out of the line with recent Warner Bros. Discovery maneuvers. Over the past couple of years, they've canceled releases in at least 2 major films, Batgirl and Coyote vs. Acme, right? They make those movies and they just put them on the shelf because it's a tax write-off, both of which are complete, okay? And they do this with video games as well.
List games so they can get tax breaks. The digital-only trend allows companies to decide whether you get to play a game or not. Other companies, like Nintendo, go after emulation, which is legal by the way, as if it was a crime. Yes, some people abuse it, but they treat every fan project as a direct threat to their bottom line. And then they turn around and disable the eShops that house those very games. Like, make it make sense. It does not compute.
I'm with you. It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute.
It just goes to show that companies nowadays just do not care about the art of games anymore. They all just hyper-focus on the money aspect of it.
They don't understand.
Well, here we are.
They don't understand if they cared about the art, then the money would come, right? Because the people in charge of the companies are not gamers. They're not even art. They're not people with art. They're people that are just want the money, right? And again, if they just paid attention to what the product was, whatever that is, make the product the best product it could be, the money will come with the quality of the item. But they've changed the system. The system is now we can put out anything we want, and these idiots, that's what they think of you, right? These idiots will buy it because they don't care. They don't have standards. They're addicted to gaming. They're addicted to what we give them, right? So we're going to give you a game that's broke, buggy, unfinished, and you're going to like it. You're going to love it, right? And not only are you going to love it, but you're going to give me more money for it. You love it so much, you're going to pay an additional $30 to get 3 days early access. You're going to love it so much that we're going to give you microtransactions store, and you're going to wait for it. You're going to wait season after season to give you the bare minimum of actual quality of product, okay? And we're going to charge you $20. We're going to charge you a third of what the game is. Not only do we get $30 up front, We got the $70 at the day of, and then we get $20 for a cosmetic skin because you have no control. You are an idiot. That's exactly what they think.
Again with another addendum from the future. So, as you may have heard, Dragon's Dogma 2 came out, and it made a huge fuss because of the huge amount of microtransactions that they added into the game, and while you can get all of the items that they're selling in the game, it leaves a bad aftertaste that they insert these microtransactions into the game. It kind of just harkens back to the thing that I said before. Is it intentional game design that there are limited fast travel options? Or was it specifically done to be inconvenient so you're pushed into buying these microtransactions? I honestly don't know what to say here. I trusted Capcom? Well, arguably I trusted Capcom less after Monster Hunter Rise, but this is just scummy. This is just EA.
It is. It is scummy.
Or 2K
Unlock this meme for $1.99 only.
Behavior. This isn't Capcom behavior. What is this shit?
It's not about Capcom behavior. It's the industry behavior. They see what the other people are doing and they're like, hey, they're doing this. Can we do it? Yeah, let's try it.
Either way, yeah, Dragon's Dogma video in the future.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
All of these added payment options should make one think that the industry would be able to support itself. But if you look at the state of the industry, you see a jaw-dropping amount of layoffs. In 2023, arguably one of the most insane years for gamers, an estimated 11,250 developers lost their livelihoods, and in the first 3 months of 2024, around 6,000 more developers lost their jobs. Almost 18,000 people have been fucked over. All while doing their best for an uncaring industry. An industry that not only uses developers as much as they can, but also abuses them to no end.
Sure.
Instead of getting compensated for crunch, overtime, or outstanding performances, they get kicked out.
Hold on. They do get compensated. Okay? They do get compensated. Right? They got paid for the work. They're not slaves. Right? Some of them get bonuses. Right? Now, I'm not saying all companies give bonuses out because bonuses, that's what it is. It's a bonus. Okay? But to say that they're being abused, okay, they're not working in sweatshops. Okay? They're not making shoes for pennies on the dollar. Okay? They're literally salary employees, and if they're not salary, they're independent contractors, and the independent contractors, they signed up for what they have. This is not... I don't like it being produced this way as that, well, they're being kicked out. They didn't get paid. They got their money. Right? They fucking got their money. I'm an independent contractor. When I work on films, they pay me. Some jobs pay me at the end of the day. Some jobs pay me 90 days later. Either way, I'm getting paid for the product that I made. I didn't go, oh, well, Tom Cruise is making $10 million and I had to work 20 hours a day for 6 months and I only made... Like, I made my money. Okay?
And during all this time...
You can't be, oh, well, you signed up. They asked you, hey, do you want to work weekends and crunch? And you have an option to say yes or no. But you know what really happens, because if you say no, you're not going to get that promotion. Hell, you might get fired either way, right? Because they want people that are going to make the product for them. Why? Because they want to make the money. They're giving you the money, and they want that product that you're making for them, an hourly rate, weekly rate, monthly rate, yearly salary. They want you at the end of the time frame to give them a product so they can take that product and then screw us over. You're making your money.
CEOs like Bobby Shitface Kotick and Andrew Wilson, a CEO that is so cartoonishly greedy he's a caricature of himself, make millions for doing nothing to better the games or the gaming landscape as a whole.
Look at that, paid in excess of $19 million, $28 million.
Or look at Bungie. They recently also let go a lot of people, and when asked if they had considered that management could take pay cuts to keep their hard workers aboard, they were met with this sentence, and I quote, "Bungie is not that type of company."
All companies are that type of company. All companies are that type of company. And if they're not that type of company now, they will be in the future, because the bigger they get, they have to morph and change into something to become that company.
A response so vile and disgusting, I'm actually surprised they had the balls to say out loud what we have all known for a while. And to top that off, they...
But Jones, that's going to happen regardless, right? Right? That's going to happen regardless. This industry, these people that joined this industry knew by getting into this industry. When I went to school, now maybe not all these people didn't go to school and maybe they just got lucky and got in, but the schools tell you what type of industry this is. It's not like they're waking up and going, hey, I'm going to get a job today. Where am I going to work? I'm going to work at EA. I don't know what EA is. And walk in and go, what do you guys do here? They know exactly what they're getting into when they get there. They know that they're independent contractors or they get a full-time salary. As a person that's getting a job, of course you want a full-time salary. Of course you want the stability so you can make a family and have a house and have a car and own stuff, okay? But at the same time, they can't be this stupid and naive to go and go, I don't know what type of company this is. Blizzard's been around for 40 years. EA's been around for 30 years. Do they not pick up a paper? Do they not pick up what these companies do and what gaming industry is? Are they just living under a rock?
They even threatened more layoffs.
They probably don't pick up a paper, right? They probably don't pick up a paper because the paper doesn't exist anymore. But do they scroll through the phone to look at news?
This is not meant to be a we have to do better video. Countless have been made that plead with gamers to vote with their wallets, but that simply doesn't work. There will always be people who base their entire existence around the pointless task of defending companies that mistreat not only us as consumers,
it's raining hard
but
over
the
here.
developers as well. After all, do you remember the horse armor that started all of this? $250. That is how much it cost. Now we are at a spot where people pay the equivalent of a small house on...
Okay, Diablo Immortal players spends $100,000 on a game and can't get into a match. Let's just think about this for $100,000. That's someone's salary. It's one person's salary. One person paid that much to play a video game. Right? That could be two person's salary. It could be three people's salary. It all depends on what type of game it is, right? That's one person.
Mobile games. Gaming as a whole was never a cheap hobby. For neither side of the industry. And with how it is going, it will only get more expensive. And the cost will be passed off to the consumers. And the cost...
And that's the problem, right? That's the problem with certain developers. Not all developers. But there are companies out there that say, well, if we have one guy that spends $100,000, what can we get to get 2 or 5 or 10, right? Because why are we going to make a game for thousands or millions of people when we can make it just for these 10 people?
That cannot be passed off? Developers will suffer those consequences. We're at a point where this is no longer sustainable. Will there be a collapse? I don't know. Do I hope for one? Kinda.
I kinda. Happened once, right? But even if there is a collapse, right? Even if there is a gaming collapse, right? We don't win, right? All it is it's like a reset button, right? It's like a reset button. The collapse happens and we're like, well, there you go. And then what gaming does is they just do it again, but they slowly implemented it back in, right? Just like in the beginning of this guy's video, he said, well, Bungie learned their lesson about making the XP later. Like, we're never going to do that again. And then 2 years later, they implemented it again, right? Xbox says, we're not raising prices for gold. Sorry, it was just a mistake. We didn't mean to do that. And then 18 months later, they raise the price. That's what'll happen. That's what'll happen if the gaming crashes and then we get AA games or single independent games. Independent games will become AA games, and AA games become AAA games, and studios become bigger. More independent people come in. But in the end, it's just going to go back to what it was. Or they'll try to resituate themselves to make something not just outrageous or egregious as they had it before. The dev for Baldur's Gate 3 is so right that you just have to make a great game and you will make your money. And it's so right. Yeah. Make a game, sell a game. Make the game that you want to make. If you have a good product, okay, people will buy your product. And if you make a shitty product, people will buy that shitty product for the first time until they figure out it's a shitty product. And once they find out it's a shitty product, they won't buy your second product because they know you make shitty products. Hence why people should take like pride into what they make as a product. right? They should make pride in whatever they're doing, because if you have pride of what you're doing, then people will look at it and go, that person makes a good car. That person makes a good refrigerator. That person makes a good game. That person makes pride in what they work on.
Yeah, kinda not. I hope for one, as the blatant disregard of any goodwill by these shitheads is getting on my nerves. But I also don't hope for one, as the developers, the ground floor people like you and me, the ones that have to make ends meet, the ones that try their hardest, that put in the long hours and try to deliver something that they and we can be proud of, will be the first to suffer once the
Bungie dev says atmosphere is soul crushing. Yeah, I bet you one of these people though at Destiny and Bungie, they're probably one of those diverse, inclusive groups.
time comes.
Because someone said, "Hey pal," and they're like, "I don't identify as a pal."
I know people will disagree, and I'm fine with that. All I wanted to do with this video is to hopefully let people know of the shit that is happening to our beloved hobby right this moment. But there is hope. Various people from the industry that were laid off have regrouped and created new studios.
Sure. And that's great, right? People that left a studio, but let's not be hasty here, right? These people that are leaving the studio know that they can't grow anymore with that company, so they take the people, they go make their own studio in the realm of, we're going to make this game that we want to make, and then we're going to sell the company off. And when we sell the company off, we're going to make more money off these guys that just need to make. And then those companies will buy up this company, and then this company will get merged into this company, and then they'll lay off the employees over here, and it's just a cycle that just keeps going, right? I know people that own businesses all the time. They just start up a business, sell that business, make the money, and then go start another business, and then they go sell that business, right? That's a business. Selling businesses.
If I remember correctly, even new publishing labels. These people have the chance to change the industry by earning the trust of consumers and proving the old guard wrong. We have seen time and time again that trust alone will go a long way to getting revenue to rise and rise. Look at FromSoft. Look at Capcom. Look at AA and indie studios. They're all currently thriving, humiliating AAA studios.
They're humiliating the companies, but that's going to be a saturation point. Because let's just take Helldivers right now. Helldivers is doing something that other games don't do, right? Their curve of people interested is still going up. It's not pitching down. Okay? Pal World, even though it was popular, it made more money than most companies make with these big name games, okay, with a small studio. Okay? But the problem with this is that soon as Helldivers gets picked up by a studio, by a bigger conglomerate, and they make Helldivers 3, there's a potential that Helldivers 3 changes and goes, well, people really liked Helldivers 2. Let's try to see if we could turn up the dial a little bit where we sell a little bit more, or we raise the price a little bit of the war bonds or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying they're doing this, but what I'm saying is when a company's independent, they can do what they want, but when they're bought by someone else, they have to play the game. They have to play the game. And then the brand that was popular, Halo, that was awesome back in the day and now is just a conglomerate IP. The Star Wars, which is now a conglomerate IP. The insert major IP here becomes a massive IP because of the fans that buy these things. But then once it gets to a certain point, it gets destroyed within because the corporation wants to take that IP and wring it out as much as possible to try to get as much money as possible off of that IP. So yeah, you could go out and make another company. And you could break that company, make really good games, and get the goodwill, the respect of us, the consumers. But then when they sell that off to someone else, we're like, oh man, they used to be good, but once they sold, they've changed.
Who have stopped innovating in fears of losing too much money, causing the medium to stagnate in so many ways. Indie and AA studios in particular are the future.
Yeah, Pal World.
These people rarely have a board forcing them to make more and more money, and thus they can simply focus on making great games. Focus on making art. They try their hardest to make each game you buy worth your time, as they cannot simply rely on brand recognition.
See? That's exactly what he's saying. Without looking for brand recognition, we've played some really great games, right? Really small independent games, great games. And then when you like those, they get a following. And then they make money, make a product, right? Make a game, sell a game. That game all of a sudden gets a nice fan base to it, and they're looking forward to Helldivers 3. They're looking forward to a Deep Rock Galactic Survivor 2 or whatever it is. And then they start building it up, but then the corporations come in and they go, well, did you see this game? This game made a lot of money. We should pick that up, and then we should ring it out.
They don't have $1 billion to spend on marketing and development. They have to get creative and nail what they are working on, as each misstep can and will hurt the people.
I'm not sure what this game is on screen.
Behind the projects.
It does look interesting, though.
So much more.
If anybody knows that name of that game.
So, if you can take one thing away from this video, I hope you can support those who respect us as their customers, who respect this beautiful medium so many of us go to for comfort and rest.
No, it wasn't. This wasn't Deep Rock Galactic. This is something else.
On marketing and development. They have to get creative and nail what they are working on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it's called Rock and Stone? That's what it's called? I thought you were saying Rock and Stone, Quintar, because that's what they say. in Deep Rock Galactic, that's what they... Rock and Stone. That's what they say. That's why I was a little confused. So the game's called Rock and Stone. Okay.
I hope you can support those who respect us as their customers, who respect this beautiful medium so many of us go to for comfort and rest.
Yeah, and look, that's a good video. That's a good video. Give that a like. Already subscribed to him earlier on my other channel, on my other account. So that was good. I like that. We're going to have to go back to him every once in a while if he does a video that we like. Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that the industry can be a great thing, right? And obviously not everyone's a bad company, but there are bad companies out there taking advantage of the system, and a lot of them are AAA companies. The AA studios usually don't try to do it, but if you look at the day before their studio, they try to take advantage of people, right? And they weren't a AA; they were independent. Okay, so there are bad people out there, but the majority of gamers, the majority of game developers are not Activision, are not Blizzard, are not Microsoft Studios, they're not Sony. They're not these major corporations. They're independent studios that are just trying to get their game, and they make a game and they sell a game. And they're just trying to get it out in front of you. And there's way more of those than there are of AAA games, right? But we all know about the AAA games. Oh, that's what it was. It's not called Rock and Stone. You son of a. You son of a. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe he has it in his video. Let me see. Oh, wait. He has a lot of stuff here. Oh, he's got articles, though. These are all articles. He doesn't have the video footage. All right. Good video. Good show. I appreciate everyone coming out, hanging out with us. We'll be back tonight playing some Division 2. Yeah, man, the industry, you know, between Battlefield Collector's Edition or Battlefront Collector's Edition and Suicide Squad, I'm pretty burnt out of what's happening in the industry right now. Right? It looked like I'm happy with stuff, right? Like I'm happy I'm playing certain games and I'm enjoying myself with certain games, but certain games, like I didn't even buy Star Wars Battlefront Collector's Edition or Collector, whatever the hell it's called, right? I didn't even buy it, and I'm pissed off that they took a 20-year-old game and repackaged it into a shittier product. Okay, that speaks volumes of what the industry is about. Okay, and then same with just other games. Like I'm excited for certain games right? And as a content creator, it comes across as being sometimes hypocritical because a hypocrite, not hypocritical, a hypocrite because of the content that I make. I have to get certain games that I'm interested in early, but I don't like pre-ordering. I usually buy it the day it comes out because I don't want to give them my extra money. Suicide Squad we got early, but I didn't pay for it, right? My brother-in-law bought it for me for Christmas, and was like, he asked me what game I liked. I was like, oh, it was a game coming out, in February, and that's what he bought me, right? So, but someone bought me that, and I don't want to support pre-orders. I don't like buying games day one or a pre-order day before day one. I buy it day one if it's something that I like or looks interesting. But my channel is about showing you that, look, this game comes out, I'll cover it, I'll tell you it's broke, buggy, unfinished, but we cover news stories in general. I don't want to come across as, well, don't buy this game and then I buy this game. The reason I'm buying the game is to show you, or I play the game. If Skull and Bones, I knew it was a piece of shit. Okay, you could have fun with it, but that game is not ready to come out. Okay, and I wasn't interested enough in that game, and I knew what it was. I was interested in Suicide Squad because it's DC, Marvel. We cover a lot of those games, but I knew it wasn't right. That's why we played just for the single player, and I told people not to buy it for full price. Right? I try to save you guys money. I do. But you're going to do what you want to do. You're going to buy what you want to buy. You can spend your money how you want to spend your money. But if there's something that you get out of this, is with the conversations that we have, is that I'm not against broken, buggy games if you enjoy it. I'm against the industry dishing out broken, buggy games and taking advantage of the consumers. The consumers are the reason that they're in business. And they're taking advantage of the people keeping them in business by trying to dick us over by giving us less product for the same amount of money. Okay? You know what I mean? So, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you guys, chilling with me as we talk about this stuff. We covered the age or the toxicity rating system earlier. We covered the World of Warcraft as well, about dead game, and then we covered this video here. We also looked at a couple of other games. If you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to about noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. And then tonight we're going to be playing some Division 2 with Sarge for the next part of the season. So I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day. We have a video coming out that was from Monday. It's the Xbox teaming up with Steam. That'll be out at 1 o'clock this afternoon on this channel, and that will be a short, just about 15 minutes before that. Appreciate it very much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.